What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Now today I want to talk about the PlayStation Trophy Hunting community. More specifically than that, I want to talk about the PlayStation Trophy Hunter leaderboard, and even more specifically I want to talk about number one. What does it take to become the #1 trophy hunter in the world? Can anybody do it? Can a new person coming in 2021 or later, can they earn the top spot in their country or in the entire world? The reason why I want to talk about this topic is because firstly, there's been a few stats released by top trophy hunters over the past couple of weeks, mainly looking into their stats for 2020, how long they've been playing, how many platinum trophies they've earned, and how many days they've been playing, all these sort of stats. And I think it really shows a great indication as to how much dedication a lot of players put into earning trophies, earning platinum trophies. And I want to share it with you because I think not everybody would have seen these stats, and I just want to put in perspective how actually hard it is to be at the top of your game in the trophy hunting community, and answer the question as to whether or not I think the top dogs can actually be knocked off the top of the hill or not. Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's just begin with the video. Alrighty, so you may or you may not already know who is the top ranked in the world on PSN profiles, and that is Hakoom. He currently has over 2,900 platinum trophies. This guy's been going a long time. There's a few other trophy hunters who he has chopped and changed with over the past couple of years for #1, but at the moment he's standing as the top trophy hunter in the world. And he is the reason that gave me this idea, and he's also the one who shared his stats, which I think have given us a great amount of detail into how much he games and what he has to do to remain at the top. And that's what I want to discuss in this video. So as I said, Hakoom released his stats for 2020. All of us can do it. If you go on the PlayStation website, you can get your stats. It tells you basic things like your most played games, the amount of days you played out of the year, your total hours on PS4, on PS5, your amount of trophies earned, all this good stuff. It's quite a detailed little statistical package that PlayStation give you, and they've been doing it for the past 2 years, and I really enjoy it, and I think it's pretty good and very insightful for us as gamers. And it can also make us aware that maybe we're playing too much of the same games, or maybe we're playing too much gaming, or maybe we're spending too much time trophy hunting. Now, Hakoom is the top ranked trophy hunter, and he earned a lot of platinum trophies, surprisingly, in this year. I would like to add, he hasn't earned the most platinum trophies. I actually have seen somebody who's earned over 900 platinum trophies in 1 year. Hakoom hasn't done that many. He has managed 604 platinum trophies in 2020, which is still significantly higher than most players. I myself is quite a vigorous trophy hunter, managed about 180. So, put that in perspective, it's like pretty much 4 times the amount of trophies that I've earned. He's also earned total trophies of 14,400, which again is an insane amount of trophies for 1 year. Okay, now this is where the dedication starts to come through, and this is where it starts to shine in and hone in on the fact that what he does is, it requires a lot of dedication, and I think it's pretty hard to take that #1 spot from him. So Hakoom played his PlayStation for 343 days last year of the 365 days that there was in 2020, which means that he only had 22 days off throughout the whole year. That's like, when I think of my full-time job, that's like how many days holiday I get in the UK. So it's kind of like he's treating it as a full-time job and he's having days off here and there. But when we actually talk about more detailed stuff, you maybe think he's maybe doing it a bit in excess. Okay, so not only does it tell you the amount of days you played, it also tells you the total amount of hours you've actually played. Now just try and listen to what I'm saying, and try and I'm going to get a little bit mathy here, but it's interesting, and it really does paint a lot of information and give us a good picture as to what it takes to be the #1 trophy hunter in the world. So Hakoom played his PlayStation 4, 5, whatever, he's on his PlayStation account for 5,558 hours, which is a lot of time. Now, to put that in perspective, he gamed that many hours over 343 days. So if we do 5,558 divided by 343, we get 16.2 hours per day. So if you take away the 22 days that he was playing, because we know he hasn't played those, he played on every day 16.2 hours per day.
You what?
Which is absolutely insane. For most people, that's more than their waking hours. Most people sleep 8 hours a night, which is absolutely insane to think that's how much he's actually playing. Now, I have seen him say things like, oh, well, I was boosting, I left the account on, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, he plays a lot of easy games, a lot of really short games, and these really easy short games, they actually require a lot of player input. So I don't think that excuse really flies, I'm afraid. Dude, you've been playing this for an obscene amount. It requires a lot of dedication to be where it is. I don't want this to be a necessarily negative video, because we're not criticising him for doing this, we're just talking about what makes the best trophy hunters in the world maintain that high level. Now, what I would like to add as well, bring a little bit more maths in, there's 8,760 hours in any given year, which means that Hakoom spent 63.4% of last year on his PlayStation, which is a phenomenal amount. If we work out that he slept maybe 7 hours a night, that would give us an average, that would give us about 2,555 hours of sleep, which leaves him with only 647 hours of being alive, being conscious, of not playing his PlayStation throughout all of 2020, which is quite the insane amount, and it is quite the commitment. I don't know about you, but I don't think I've got that kind of commitment, so you've got to think to yourself, if you're a completely new trophy hunter and you wanted to be as good as Hakoom, which realistically is really difficult, I think maybe impossible, but if you wanted to get the same amount of trophies as him, you'd have to play 16.2 hours a day for 343 days of the year. Have you got that sort of commitment to be number one? I don't think I do. So firstly, that just shows that people at the top are spending most of their waking days playing PlayStation, and realistically, if you've got a full-time job, you have a job of any kinds really, you pretty much couldn't compete with the people at the top because of the amount of playing they're doing is pretty much insane. Now, Hakoom is pretty clear on the PSN leaderboard, he is quite far ahead of most people. There's a few other high-ranking gamers who aren't on PSN profiles, but other than a few, he's pretty much quite far ahead of most of the other gamers. At this current climate of gaming, we get, a lot of easy games come out every month. We're probably getting, I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting between 400, 500 or 600, 700 easy platinums being released every single year. So the idea is that you could, in theory, play those games and catch up to Hakoom. But the thing is, when you started back in 2008, 2007, like the old school people did, like Hakoom did, there wasn't those easy games, so you had to spend a lot of your time playing the harder games. And Hakoom has got a lot of ultra rare trophies, and he's also, because of that, he's played a lot of harder games. So, before 2013, 14, when there wasn't that many easy games, easy games were like Hannah Montana and Terminator Salvation, which were still 6-hour games. Now you're getting games that are 4 minutes, 5 minutes for the Platinum Trophy. So even if you did every single easy Platinum Trophy, I'm just speculating at this point, you'd probably only have about 1,500, 1,600 easy Platinums, which would mean you'd still be like over 1,000 behind Hakoom. Maybe if there's 2,000, you're still going to be 900 to 1,000 trophies behind Hakoom, even if you did every single one. And basically, could a new account come in and do all of this? I really don't think so. I think if you came in as one account, one person, I just do not think you could topple the king. I think there's a lot of accounts that maybe have 1,500 to 2,000 at this time who are probably in the top 100 to 200 in the world. That's a different story. If they were to really commit the same amount, if not more, maybe they could overtake him. But I generally don't think that a new person could do. I think it pretty much would be close to impossible because of the amount Hakoom's earning, because you're not just considering how many trophies you're earning, you're considering that Hakoom's going to be earning 600 platinum trophies probably for the next 10 years, if not indefinitely. So the idea that coming in new, not only would you have to earn the same amount, you actually have to earn more, and is there enough to earn, is there enough time in existence to actually overtake him? If you were a team, then yes. So yeah guys, on a whole, I think I've answered the question that no, I think people coming in now, 2021 and later, if you're watching this video a little bit later on, you pretty much are going to be struggling to reach the top 1, maybe the top 100, because these people who are at the top are just gaming at such an excessive amount and they're collecting so many easy platinums. It's not just the amount of excessive time they're committing, which is one of the biggest factors, it's also the amount of selective games they are playing. It's pretty difficult to stretch in, especially if you just want to be a casual gamer, or even play somewhere like how I play, which is I play a lot of those easier games, but I also play a lot of bigger games, like I'm playing Bloodborne right now. And I think if you want a bit of mixture of gaming, you're going to struggle. I think if you really want to be in the top, you've really got to commit like a lot of your time and your gaming time to the easy games, and to just rack in those numbers and those numbers, and then you can climb the leaderboards and be number 1, I guess. But it's I would say, I would probably go as far to say, unless Hakoom was to retire and you were new, a new person could not overtake him. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's been informative. I hope it's going to generate some good discussion and dialogue in the comments down below. And let's just talk about what we think about all this trophy hunting stuff that's going on, all the community stuff. What's your thoughts on this? I know a lot of people are really actually quite against these easy games. I think in the community that around my channel anyway, there's quite a mixture of people. A lot of people who are actually quite against those easy grinding platinum trophies. But I just say, just do you. You can play whatever you want to play. You shouldn't be worried about what others are going to say, how others are going to criticize you, because why care? Life's about living, and life's about just being yourself and doing what you enjoy. And if this is the sort of thing you enjoy, then just go for it, is what I say. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and take it easy.